Welcome back to another episode of NFL News on the Boomer Bust channel. I'm your host, Terry, and today we talking about Ron Rodgers. Man, I was going to talk about this a couple days ago, but was busy just, doing things. And so I didn't get to really convey some of the information that is freely available that goes against all the narratives that the media and, of course, the fans, the haters, were putting out there about Aaron Rodgers and the whole COVID thing. And so, again, I want to just reiterate, the information is free. So it blows my mind how many times that I get into these discussions. I'm not an investigative reporter. I'm not anybody. How come I can find this information in less than 5 minutes, but yet every single person online and then professionals on TV are sitting here putting out false information? It absolutely blows my mind. And there's no other conclusion for me other than they're doing it on purpose. So, same thing with the Odell Beckham thing on the side. I saw and continue to see people say Odell's dad put together this 11-minute video. Are you serious? That video has been out for weeks. No one cared about it. And so essentially everybody's pissed off that his dad shared a video that was already out there. Anyway, so when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, there have been blatant lies. Blatant lies. Funny enough about him lying, which wasn't the case. And again, all this was pretty much out there if you just took time to look for it. And then Aaron Rodgers today came on the Pat McAfee show to clear the air out. And there's a couple things that I found out that I didn't know, but vast majority of what he said was already reported by other people. And people just willingly ignored that information and just continued to lie on him. So everybody came out. Oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is lying. He was deceiving everybody because back in August, he said he was immunized and everybody was like, well, we just went and thought that was meant he had the vaccine. Exactly. You went and thought that. That does not mean he lied to you or he was being deceitful. Now, on top of that, he was still in the process of petitioning with the league to get his alternative treatment approved as being vaccinated. And it wasn't until after that press conference that he got it denied. He appealed and then he lost the appeal. Either way, at the time that he was saying that, again, under the CDC definition, under his medical team's definition, he answered the question correctly. Now, he says if you would have followed up with a question specifically, did he take the vaccine? He would have answered, no, but they didn't. Now, to me, again, and later he admits, like, he was just trying to minimize that conversation because he didn't want to have that whole battle come play out over and over again, especially over something that was a personal decision. So, was he being deceitful? I don't think so. Was he purposefully using his words? I would say yes. But at the same time, it wasn't being deceitful. The man was following the procedure for what he was supposed to do so that he could get the status with the league. Now, again, those were denied. So he was not considered vaccinated. Not by the league, not by the team, not by his teammates. Like, and I saw all these things like people was like, well, we don't know who Aaron Rodgers told. There could have been a bunch of people that didn't know. Are you sick? First of all, it's not even the Packers or Aaron Rodgers. I even knew from what the NFL put out over the summer that one of their protocols was that they would have to have these like identification bands. And so Aaron Rodgers mentioned he wears a yellow identification band to say that he's not vaccinated. Everybody knew he wasn't vaccinated. Everyone in the building knew. Everyone in the NFL knew he was not vaccinated. So let's stop that game. Don't even try to sit here and say that. And then you got Skip Bayless, the biggest troll, and I don't care if it's entertainment. You spread misinformation on purpose. You are a liar. And so he sits here, well, we don't know what Aaron Rodgers was doing. They let him do whatever they want because they were trying to bow to his will and mend fences. So he's probably walking around the facility doing whatever and they say these things with zero information. Or sometimes they still say it just because they think that's what sells. So I'm listening to him and all these people talk about Aaron Rodgers, how terrible he was. He was just lying to everybody. Like the whole NFL couldn't figure out this man was vaccinated. Are you serious? And so the information that was reported and then Aaron Rodgers just shared, he followed the same protocols that everybody did that is not vaccinated. They have to get tested every day. They have to be in certain parts of certain workouts. They can't use certain facilities. They can't eat lunch with teammates. All these different things. This man followed it. And the reports from the real reporters were he followed it the whole time. There was no, oh, I was just lying and doing what I want. He followed every single thing. The only thing that he didn't follow was the mask mandate at the podium because everybody's talking about the sideline. And it blows my mind because I think most people have run into these situations with COVID at work or somewhere. Open air is different. Y'all know that. The open air is different. And so there isn't the same stipulation when you're outside on the sideline as it is when you're inside a facility. And so the only time that he didn't follow the mandate, according to him, was when he didn't wear the mask at the press conferences. Now, again, I'm someone that works in the school, so I've seen all iterations of these policies. Everything we've always talked about was distance. And even now in classrooms, if you are 15 feet, that's what the CDC says, 15 feet, then you can talk to each other without a mask. Now, Aaron Rodgers goes on to say that all these people that come in have to be vaccinated before they come in. Aaron Rodgers has to test every day, so he knows if he's negative. So he said it didn't make sense for him to wear the mask and that they're 15 to 20 feet away from him. And so that the rule is just a rule and it isn't based on anything. And I agree. And that's probably the bigger conversation that Aaron Rodgers brings up. And this one conversation that outside of sports world, unfortunately in the political world, even though a health crisis shouldn't be political, that we continue to have where these people, just because it's a rule, we're going to blindly follow it. And I'm not talking about anarchy, but we're talking about as a civilian, as a critical thinking adult, there's times when you can say, does this make sense? And I'm going to push against it because I don't think it makes sense. So if it was a law for you or for the NFL that you had to get slapped every morning, it's the rule, so I just got to do it. No, you can object to it in that. Now, again, the NFL known the whole time that he was doing it. They didn't suspend him. I don't know if he got privately fined or what. He said there were conversations, but however they want to handle that, fine. But to me, that's more on the fault of the league in the country than it is on Aaron Rodgers. Because, yes, that does not make sense. Just like it doesn't make sense that they're testing unvaccinated people way more than they test vaccinated people. And Aaron Rodgers talks in depth about how the NFL themselves were quoting a doctor at the time that said vaccinated people can't get or spread COVID. Now, as we know, information changes over time. And so the NFL is enacting rules based off information that has since changed. And like most of the country, they're doing that. because I hear it all the time. And again, it's not even true. And then people that don't even do the research about this stuff want to be the ones that argue. They want to argue hard as if they know, and they've done zero research because the info is very clearly out there to tell you what's what. Not only have they not looked at the U.S. and what studies we have, they haven't looked around the world to see what other people are doing. So we're talking about the medication and the treatments. We know the whole controversy with Trump and Rogan and all these other people. And now Pfizer and them are turning around and using those same things, some of them, in these pills that they're getting ready to make. And that's okay. It's just because it costs more. And if you do not know that the healthcare system is one of the most crooked, then that's just on you. You got nothing to argue about. Like, literally, if they said, first of all, literally everybody tried to make the government make the vaccine purchasable. They tried very hard to make sure that people had to pay for it and it wasn't going to be free. So do you really think that when there's some medication that is pretty cheap, or, you know, whatever, that people weren't going to say, whoa, let's bury this under propaganda and then repackage it in an expensive version where we could make some money? That's very possible. But anyway, outside of that, back to Aaron Rodgers. So again, he talks about all those things. He talks about the politicization of it. But when you get down just to the brass tacks, the man did his own research. Not only that, he had to tell you his medical history, which I think is ridiculous. And that's what we've come to. All these questions, even with Kyrie Irving and everybody, I heard it over and over. If he would just tell us why, then it wouldn't be a problem. He don't have to tell you why. That is the issue. We should not have to put people on the stands to say, okay, why are you not getting vaccinated? Why are you getting vaccinated? That shouldn't be a thing for anybody. And the fact is, it's only for unvaccinated people. And it's so ridiculous. We have this made up hierarchical system, like vaccinated people are holier than thou. And then Aaron Rodgers talked about the shaming. Now, I don't agree with this part. He said a lot of rules aren't based in science. They're purely just to shame people and out people that's not vaccinated. I agree. There's a lot that we do that's not based in science. I do agree it does shame or at least out people, but I don't think that's the reason they do it. I think, like most people, these companies just follow what people say that can help them continue to do what they want. So the people that want to go out and club, or they want to go party, they want to go drink, they want to go eat, to the movies, whatever, they figure out what they have to do to be compliant. And they do the bare minimum. The companies are the same. What do we have to do to get money, to continue to make money? And I'm going to just do that bare minimum. Oh, there's new info? I don't care. I'm just doing exactly what they told me to do. I'm not going to think about it critically. I'm just going to do exactly what they told me to do. But to his point, it does become an issue of this have and have nots, where he talked about all the stringent rules that he has to follow as non-vaccinated, while the vaccinated players have zero really restriction. Not zero, but they don't really have restrictions like that. And so the point is, when people talked about Aaron Rodgers in his narrative, it was always about he was selfish, he lied, he was doing whatever he wanted, he endangered his teammates, and it was just a complete lie. Aaron Rodgers did what he was supposed to do. And he was very, at least, again, if you take him at his word, and I do because I heard this information from other people before he said it, he's been very thoughtful, you know, not like, oh, but like thoughtful when he's doing things. He said, if I'm in a group of vaccinated people, I tell them, okay, I tested negative this morning. I'm not wearing my mask. If that's uncomfortable, I'll put it back on or whatever. And like things like that, like things that are sensible. Like there's some people that are mask police, and I'm not anti-mask, not anti-vax, none of that. And it's funny because I felt like I was on the quote unquote negative side during the pandemic. The people that wanted you to wear the mask. Oh my God, why do you have that diaper on your face? Or the people that wanted you to be careful. Like, I got all that heat. And then it somehow switched with the vaccine. And now I'm getting all the heat from somebody that's not in vax. And it's just wild to me because nothing I've done has changed. Like, literally, I've still say wear your mask in a group of crowded people or in public. Obviously, if you at a certain distance, then that's different. If you're outside, that's different. Make sure that you not in a small confined area with little airflow for a long period of time. All those things. And so it's just crazy to me that you can follow just basic things that make sense. Basic things that make sense. Like, you'll have some people with the mask again. Oh my God, it's crowded in there. I got to wear my mask. That's not, the mask doesn't stop you from getting it. The mask prevents you from spreading it. And so, again, there's so many times where people get outraged about stuff and it's literally not even scientific or what they're even saying. And so this whole idea that the super spreaders, the unvaccinated people, all that stuff, is ridiculous. It's not even true. And so, again, without me going down that rabbit hole, the fact is Aaron Rodgers thought this through. They wanted to make it seem like, oh, I'm a diva, I do what I want. Like, the man had legit reasons. The man had legit health and medical reasons why he couldn't mess with certain vaccines. Then what happened with Johnson & Johnson, and it got pulled. And then his own research with medical professionals into going through the treatment he did. And again, which is under the CDC rules, but the NFL ruled it not part of their definition. And then he followed the NFL rules. And so it just blows my mind, not because I love Aaron Rodgers, not because it's COVID. My biggest thing that why this fires me up is because the media is lying all the time. The sports media is lying. They're making up stuff, or they're guessing and talking like it's fact, or they're leaving info out, and people just let them get away with it. They let them set the narratives, and people just jump right into it. Because if you already were prone to not liking Aaron Rodgers, then of course you were just going to be ready to pounce on this and be like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is XYZ. And it's just so dumb because nobody questions anything. Just like A-Rod was talking about with questioning some of the rules they have for the whole mandates. And so anyway, I don't know what the spin is going to be because, again, this info was verified before he said this. Now he came out himself and said this. Obviously, the NFL and the Packers could easily prove it because there was all this question, oh, they're going to be investigated. A-Rod is going to get suspended. For what? They said suspended for lying. You really think the NFL couldn't have found out if this man was vaccinated? Let's be smart here. And so the man didn't lie. The man didn't cheat the system as far as we know now. And he did everything he was supposed to do. So hopefully this clears the air because there's been a lot of idiotic comments. And we'll see kind of how we go from here. So that's it for me. Go down to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for listening.